on my end here. Let's see. Hello, hello, hello. Can you guys hear me all right? Let's see. Good rainy day, staying home, top class solar. Let's say hello to everybody. Hello, hello, hello. Beautiful. We got a good group so far. So, yeah, as you can imagine, this week went by so quickly. A lot to learn from, a lot of takeaways. I can't wait to dive into it and share it with you guys coming up in the week with everything from what I experienced this last week with our business advisor, Patrick Bet-David, as well as the goals for the rest of the year for us in 2024 as well. How you doing, Andrew? As well as everything that we already have planned and structured for 2025. And one thing that constantly keeps popping up when it comes to help advisors, leaders, mentorships is a lot of it has to do with asking questions or putting yourself in a scenario where you can get to learn from others. And that's something that I love, love, love doing. I love putting myself into scenarios where I get to learn from other people. I love just being in the room. Even if I'm not ready for the challenge, I love just jumping into the room where I get to have the opportunity to learn from people, learn how people process things, see the frequency they're operating on. Those are things that I'm truly I'm amazed about, because so many times when you go through a new opportunity, when you go face a new objection, when you face a new anything, I genuinely believe confidence is number one. Confidence is number one. If you know you're going to go do something, if you're feeling fairly confident, or at least confident in your own abilities where you won't panic, that's a beautiful stance to have when you go into the next challenge, because no matter what, at the end of the day, I'm going to figure it out. And if you can have that mindset, if you can have that process before you go into something, before you communicate with somebody, before you have a meeting, oh, that is beautiful. And then you add the other layers of confidence, experience, leadership, tactfulness, the way you speak, the way you treat others, all that other stuff just highlights the experience other people have with you. But going into something, I love those opportunities, even though I love the thrill. I love spending all night, like the first day of school, like getting ready to jump into something. Oh, I love all night staying awake. Can't wait for what's going to happen. I can't wait to see how it's going to go. Just like when you're in elementary school. I don't know if you guys had the same experience where you take your clothes out. You have it laid out. You have your sneakers ready. You got your socks. You got your pants all folded up. You got your shirt. It's already on a hanger and you're just ready to go to school. Why? Because you already role played it in your head. Hey, I'm going to wear this. This is my outfit's going to look like this. I'm going to go show up like that. I'm going to see my buddies at the bus stop. And then all that confidence just leads you into getting into school. And then now, doing what you do best. The same thing when it comes to business. I love putting myself in those scenarios where I'm learning. I'm the youngest guy in the room for the most part when I'm with Patrick Bet-David. So with Patrick Bet-David, that's what I love about it. The next couple, because I'll go to the meetings with my wife. She'll come with me. What I love about it is when we go into the meetings and we start getting introducing to everybody. Myself and my wife are 30 years old. We go into the meetings and the next couple above us is like 38. So there's an eight year gap in between us. But one that I'm so grateful for that, because it just shows me at the potential where can I be when I hit 8 years from today. Also, it also shows that, like, hey, you're never too young to start looking for help. I have a few YouTube videos up or a few podcasts where I started talking about how growing up, I always had friends that were older than me, older friends. And I never viewed that as boring or anything. Yet they all told me the same thing. Hey, don't worry about the parties. Don't worry about the girls. Don't worry about this. Don't worry about that. Everything in due time will come. And they always helped me to just stay focused. I had so many older friends that I was like, and then what was cool about having older friends as mentors, like grown men, they already had their money. They were already comfortable. They already had. So these guys would be like, hey, I'm going to Florida, taking my wife and my kids. So you want to come along? So it would be like, cool, I would go with them. Or they would be like, hey, let's go. We're going to dinner. Let me take you out. I was doing so many cool things because they were putting me in the scenario because they were just having me tag along with them. You can't do that really much with kids or peers around your same age. Bro, it's been nonstop. It's been nonstop. And I never took that for granted to the point where even now, PVD is 50. And I'm over here just trying to suck up every single thing that I can from these guys. These guys are on a whole nother level. These guys are on a whole nother level, and I love learning from them. Just when the way you handle yourself, project yourself, the way he operates with his team. Like a few of you guys know, like the way PBD handles himself. He handles himself truly professional. His team is always, when we're there, his team's working 24 hours to make sure our experience is amazing. What I love about it is like how he handles his team. He has a little code of conduct. He has standards for his team. So he follow, bro, it's so awesome when you see that. And then yeah, just the way he handles himself, his team handles themselves, and then going above and beyond for people. That's, to me, that's just an amazing experience all in all. I'm so thankful for those opportunities. But this week, we're going to be jumping in because one of our closest buddies over here from Pennsylvania, New Jersey area, we're not talking about Francis, we're talking about Peter Galligan. He has an opportunity coming up and he wanted to share it and touch on some bases where we can brainstorm together because he wants to make sure he's doing the best he can. Once again, I'm never going to highlight that I'm the best. I'm going to share whatever insights that I may have when it comes to his project. I don't know what he's referring to. If it's either going to be a pricing scenario, if it's going to be a leadership scenario, project management scenario, we're going to find out from Peter, and then we're going to just process the problem together. We're going to process the way that Pat processes problems with me. Let's solve for the problem, and then we'll reverse engineer from there. So I'm just excited about everything that's going to be coming. Let's put it into action live with you guys watching us. So if you guys have any questions, concerns, feel free to jump in. Peter, whenever you're ready, let me know when you want to jump in. But I'll just keep I'll keep warming up the crowd for you. But let me jump into some of the comments. Let's see what we have. We have Andrew saying, hello, how are you, brother? What city do you mostly work in? This is from Tony_1111. I'm in the state of Connecticut, brother. And we have a few contracts in Connecticut, Massachusetts. Can I be under your wing? I want you to be my. I appreciate you, but I'm not ready for that. I don't deserve that yet. By no means I'm ever going to say I'm the best. By no means I'm going to say I'm number one. That's not what my message is. My message is, hey, we're going to show you a perspective of what we learned, how we can apply it, and if it works for you, awesome. Remember, there's some things that we got to keep in mind. Market dictates value. Your state dictates your licensing laws. And also that in turn affects your market. If you're in the suburbs, you have a different pricing structure than you are in municipalities. So all these things are going to come together when we start answering questions from Peter. He is ready, so we're going to jump on with him. But yeah, I just love these opportunities, meeting individuals, because the more people you get to bounce ideas off of it, the more you're going to be prepared. The more you're going to be that kid going back to school with your clothes all out because you're all prepared. So this is another opportunity to touch base with another leader we have here in the Northeast. We have Peter Galligan. How you doing, my brother?
Good, man. Good.
Man, happy Sunday. Happy Sunday.
Getting ready for the week, man. Getting ready for the week.
That's all we can do. That's all we can do. But it's exciting because now it's preparing for the week,
Yeah. And I just been brainstorming. I just can't, I've been so fixated on this whole situation, and it's annoying because I can't get my brain off of it, and I'm trying to figure out what the best way to proceed is going to be, because you're strategizing and you're coming up with all these ideas and worst case scenarios, and you almost start to second guess yourself, now it's should I not do this? And I remember talking to you before that you did some large volume work. You know what I mean? That's kind of what I don't mean like assume, but like you told me before that you kind of like handle a lot of that stuff for like with your solar stuff. You're like in that niche, and like they basically came to you and they were like, look, if we can promise you all this, can you come in at a competitive price because we're giving you such a bulk volume of work?
And then just to clear the air, they didn't come to me with that. I offered that to them because that's when you're talking with bigger companies, that's what they're thinking about at the end of the day. They're thinking about their bottom line. So I approached it to them, and that's what triggered the conversation for all that to happen.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. So I have an opportunity. It's 114 houses. Okay. They're not anything special. They're basically low-income housing. They call them workforce houses.
Yep.
So basically people that, they fit in a certain income bracket, they can qualify for a mortgage on these houses. They're all relatively small. It's like 1,500 square foot. And the builder came to me, and the builder was basically like, hey, look, I don't want to use my other electrician. It's going to be nothing but a nightmare. Yeah, I mean, he's cheap, but it's going to be constantly going back fixing things, constantly bringing in the drywall team, constantly. It's just going to be a headache. And the numbers are so tight on this project that
because it's affordable housing.
Right. I don't want to deal with that. And I've never worked with this guy before because I've never have. We've just communicated on Instagram, chatted. Yeah, I've seen his work. He's asked me to bid on projects with him, and every single project, like I never landed a single one. Because he flat out told me, he's like, you're the expensive guy. Like, yeah, I mean, yep. Can you be competitive on this? Because we're doing such a large volume, maybe it'll be worth your while.
Yep.
So I was like, well, what's your other electrician charging you? Because he's doing a set right now. And he told me that the electrician's charging him $12,000 a house. Because they're all code minimum. It's like absolutely code minimum.
Yeah.
Like nothing
Lutron, nothing smart, just
nothing,
boom, boom, boom.
Nothing fancy. Like if it's recessed lighting, like you're talking like the $7 wafers, you know what I mean? Like nothing fancy. And he's like, can you like take a look at the numbers? And I see the comment. He was like the race to the bottom. I 100% agree. I 100% agree with what you're saying about it being a race to the bottom. That's partly in my brain as well. So he's charging, like I said, $12,000 a pop. And I'm like, okay. So I was like, let me look at the material and like strategize and, see what I can do. So like I hit up the supply house and I was like, what's the cheapest fucking light you can get me? If I buy, this many of them, what is the absolute cheapest you can fucking get for unit pricing on this? Because we're buying a bulk volume.
Mm-hmm.
And they told me, I was like, what about Romex? If I'm buying Romex by the pallet, what's the cheapest price you could do? So I run all the numbers, and like I said, I'm anticipating, going into it, not wiring a house the way I would traditionally wire a house. The way I would traditionally wire a house, everything's overkill. So now I'm going against like my own like morals and like values of what I believe is right, because I'm focused on like how cheap can I do this? So
yeah, because it's cookie cutter. To make the money, you have to make it as simple as possible. Which isn't going against your morals as long as it's still maintain quality. You're just being productive and producing rather than.
I mean, like how I would circuit the house. Like
exactly.
I typically don't circuit it to the code like minimum. Like
code minimum.
Like basically, we're wiring it like it. Basically, because the code is the minimum. Just because it's the minimum in the code doesn't mean it's the right thing to do. It's just like, hey, this is what you can get away with. Like if it says you can put the dining room on the kitchen counter circuit, sure, absolutely. We're going to do that in this type of situation. A traditional house, I would never do that. I would fucking have multiple circuits in the kitchen for all kinds of appliances. I'd have the dining room separate. But now I'm looking at it to be able to be competitive. What do I have to do? What corners can I cut? And it literally, like, it was to the point, like, I'm even, like, looking at it like, well, fuck. Like, I might as well just price for aluminum wiring for, like, the dryer, the fucking range, like, the AC condenser. Just to see how cheap can I get the material. Mm-hmm. And basically, I figured out, like, roughly it was, like, about $5,000 in material. Mm-hmm. So it's $5,000 material for the whole house. You figure if there's anything I missed, there's any fluctuations in pricing, we'll say worst case scenario, it goes up to 6. So now I'm trying to figure out what's the minimum I could do it. And right now I'm kind of leaning more towards like 14.5. Like that's like the minimum I could probably do these houses for. But still in the same token, like I'm worried like, okay, well, what if the whole economy fucking drops out? Now I'm fucking on the hook for all these 114 fucking houses. I mean, the material fucking market goes crazy. You know what I mean? Like, what if the guy goes belly up? Like, it's just a lot different than the type of niche or market that I'm in. But at the same token, it's like you do the fucking math on it, and it's like, okay, well, shit, they're so cookie cutter and simple. I don't have to be there. Like, I don't need to be. Every house is exactly the same. So once the two guys that I intend to have do the project, they do the first 3 houses. They don't even need the prints anymore. They don't need anything. Like, it's just the same, repeating the same thing over and over and over again, 114 times. So it's not like a job where like I really need to like be there and like micromanage or, you know what I mean, like oversee as much. Maybe like check in periodically. Hey, how you making out? Like, how's everything going? Any issues? But like, I don't know, Will. Like, I'm just like nervous about the whole situation because, like I said, it's not my typical niche. My typical niche is more like the higher end stuff. Yep. And you know what I mean, like, and that's also the thing. Like, some of the guys are commenting like, "Oh, that's a good price." I'm also doing this in like the city of Philadelphia, so there's also like a lot of logistics
and the culture with the city already.
Right. There's a lot of logistics that go into it. Like, you know what I mean? Like, if you're getting 6 hours of production in a day, like that's fucking like really good because like you might drive around for an hour looking for parking. Like, you know what I mean? And then now, you know, you might have to transport materials like 8 or 9 blocks. Like, so you really have to really be efficient in what you're doing. And like I said, but it could kind of take my company in like another like avenue. It's not like something I think I want to pursue for the rest of my company, but like I don't
opportunity.
Know if I'm looking at just like the profit I could potentially make and going like, oh wow, that's like over $100,000 worth of profit, and I'm not really even having to do anything. And that's if everything goes smooth. Yeah. You know what I mean? And like that was the thing too. Like I kept it like 100 with my guys. Like I asked the one guy, I was like, would you be interested in like potentially running this? And he was like, absolutely not. He's really? Like, I don't think I'd be the guy for you. And he was like, I can't do the same thing over and over and over and over and over and over again. I would get burned out and I wouldn't be the type of guy for it. Like you would end up losing money. Mm-hmm. And I agree with him because like I'm not that type of guy either. Like I remember being like on a big job and having to wire like light fixtures over and over and over and over, like hundreds of them. It's just like, oh my God, like you start to become like unproductive. But some guys, they can just put the headphones in and they can just vibe out and they just crush it all day. Yeah. The machine, you know what I mean? But basically I asked another guy and he's like, yeah, I think I can handle it. I could do it. You know what I mean? Like I think I definitely could run that project, like no hands down, like no questions asked. And now I'm just kind of like battling myself of, do I take this gamble?
Mm-hmm. So what I love about it and appreciate about everything what you said, I was taking some notes down. So just in that first freaking breakdown what you said, I got a whole page of notes already, bro.
That's because you're paying attention.
That's what I love about things like this. And just like as a general, what I appreciate and what I love about, you know, business, what I love about just life in general, opportunities come and go. And I feel like we're in the same boat where you're looking, you're sending it out there, you're looking for the opportunity. Now something's here. You want to make the best of the opportunity because at the same time, a good opportunity could also be a bad opportunity and jack you up and take you away from your next goal. Or, you know, the opportunity that you were waiting for is around the corner. And then this one was the skies. And now you put all your efforts into this one. Now you're not ready for the other one. I truly appreciate that. And just like for myself and the way I've operated my company, just like I told you, when I first got this one contract, it was on like a one job basis. You know, it was, hey, because they needed help. At that second, I had that conversation with them and said, hey, I'm looking for something long term. We're not here to play around. I can also work with something to be competitive just so we can have that constant workflow. But then that's trust on both ends, because now you're coming into a partnership. 114 jobs, that's not a one and done. You know what I mean? You doing 104.
Home run,
exactly.
Into a whole other set. And
so
now an avenue that you weren't trying to like go after could open up, and now you have like a whole separate crew just doing that.
Exactly. And when you're talking about 114 new builds, that's in relationships. You're not meeting a girl on Tinder. That ain't Tinder. That's not a one time. 114. You're on Christian Mingle right now, baby. You're looking to settle down with them. 114. You're what, at least a year or two with them?
I would think,
yeah. That's a 2-year project. You're not. Yeah, that's longevity. You're not looking at something small. And a lot can happen in a year, and a lot can happen in 2 years. So just with that type of conversation, you just want to mentally process. You're looking at something long-term, and then this isn't a one and done scenario. This is not one house, do this. This is, you got 114 houses. Boom. So that just tells you the level of severity you're at right now. This is something serious. It's not a Tinder. It's not a flyby. It's something you want to take into consideration. Definitely merits, hey, just like a girl. Hey, Pops, this is the girl I'm talking to, blah, 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 blah. This is that level, and this is what you're doing right now. You're already acknowledging who this person is, number one. Then you go into values. This is the person I want to talk to. Well, tell me about her. That's the next question. Yeah. Tell me about the job. 114, affordable, good cause. That means that's some type of relationship that they're getting investor money coming in, because that nobody's just waking up saying, hey, I'm going to start building affordable houses. They got investors. That means they too have to please somebody else for the money bankroll to keep going. So, okay, so they're in relationships with somebody that's going to keep this going to provide 114 affordable houses. Then you also go to value in the sense where, just like a girl, you're going to be like, what type of lifestyle does she have? This job, what's the lifestyle of this job? 114 houses. You're looking at right now, your numbers are, what did you say? Around 14.5. They're looking at around 10. With 114 houses, you're talking 1 to 1.5 mil.
Yeah. In revenue.
That's when we talked, I showed you my numbers and everything. That's big. That merits. Let's have a date. Let's have the second date. Let's have a third date. You're talking big numbers, baby. This is not, once again, that one house where they're like, oh, he's just trying to haggle the price. No. 1.5 for the next 2 years, you don't have to worry about anything else. If you choose not to do anything else, once again, like you said, you can hire somebody to tackle it, and then you have other systems, other jobs on the background. But just one project alone, bringing it 1.1 to 1.5, you're on the right track. You're asking the right questions. Then you go into the who, what, where, when, why. So it's in Philly. You already know the feel in Philly, the culture in Philly. They're always going to find the lowest bidder, like we already talked about. Especially the fact with the licensing thing, you can get a guy to rough up a house for $3-4 grand, and you're like, oh my God, that's going to be hard to compete. We already had those conversations. So the area, your market. How well are you with this guy where you can say, hey, because I was fortunate enough where the guys I was talking to, I had full transparency. I told them, hey, this is what my window is. And to the point, remember, like even one of my first podcasts I told the guy, this is my number. And he said, no, bro, bump it up. Like I'm just saying, I'm fortunate. I had people like that in my life.
Guy, like from what the conversations we had is, he sees the recipe for like disaster, and like what he basically articulated to me was, I need this to be done in a systematic way and done efficiently. And that's why I'm coming to you.
Recipe of disaster with you, or what he's talking about in general with anybody else?
With the other guys that he's been using.
Exactly.
Because
I already had that recipe with others. Yeah. Because he's looking to you to be that solution.
Correct. Because
there we go.
He's looking at it like, he's like, I go in, like, he's like, I always do like a pre-walkthrough before we get to like the installation phase. And he's like, I'll walk through, and it's like, oh, they fucking missed that. They forgot this. They didn't fucking do that. This is not done.
Micromanaging. It's a new niche. What you have to be is efficient. This is all about systems.
Right.
I already, yeah.
So basically, like, that's what he's looking for, is he needs a guy that's going to go in with a system in place and knock it out the park. Like,
Yep.
just get it done. Get it fucking done. And, like, for me, like, I would go into it with a system as I would have it all drawn out, laid out, circuit numbers ready to go, and just hand it to the guy. Like, here you go.
Yeah.
Here's what you got to do. It's all mapped out. You don't even, it even tells you what wire to pull. And there's no guessing. Like,
Yep.
you know what I mean? They're good to go. They can just get it done. But it's still, like, it's just intimidating, just that large volume for me.
But once again, that's opportunity knocking. Opportunity, bro, comes every shape and size. You know, you don't look for your wife, but when she pops up, you know what I mean? Hey, that's big too. So this
but I think
just
that we can be like transparent with each other. So far we have been. We've been talking back and forth, like, you know what I mean? And because that was the thing, like, he said to me, he was like, look, I know you're expensive, like, on a lot of projects you bid on me, like, you're sometimes fucking, like, almost double the price of the guy that I fucking hired.
Yep.
But
he has those issues with them.
What's that?
But he has the issues with them.
Correct. But, like, he basically, you know, that's the type of market that he's in as far as a niche. Like, right now for him, the reason why he pivoted to this was because he was saying his work is, like, kind of slowing down. Where for, like, us, like, I'm not slow. Like, yeah, I mean, the multifamily stuff is maybe slowing down. So now that's why he's pivoting into this fucking development type work. And he sees, okay, well, with this sub doing this, like, I can't trust this fucking guy to do all of this fucking shit. So now he's wanting to have the conversation with me, which is, it's cool that, you know, somebody's actually watching what the fuck I do on here and like taking notes on me. Like, okay, I think this guy would be the better candidate. So it's just, I think in a way I got to get out of my own fucking way. Like, you know what I mean? Like, stop overthinking it, but also I'm trying not to set myself up for failure. Like, I'm already thinking, like, in the contract, like, is there a way I can incorporate, you know, fucking, what if the material prices change? Like, you know, who's gonna, you know, cover that? Like, is, you know, the developer gonna cover it? Is the general contractor? Just, I'm trying to already figure out what I need to say to this guy to have everything all out on the table.
Yep. Which I already love.
Because the margins are fucking low. Like, it's low.
Yeah, but you get it on the volume.
Correct.
But you get it on the volume, and then you got it on 2 years worth of work.
What would you say the lowest profit percentage you would go after?
I would go 8%. 8%. That's typically, people want to go 8%. What are you talking about? So many people, especially when it comes to the skilled trades, 8% would be my minimum. Basically, because so many people want to go and shoot for the stars. They want to go, hey, I want that average, national average, 20 to 30% profit.
Right.
Right?
They want to hit a home run every fucking time.
Exactly. But in reality, when with PBD, when we balance people's books, this last trip in Yankee Stadium, we met with an accountant who specifically only works with contractors. And he goes, contractors, on paper, they always aim and sell their jobs for 20 to 30%. He goes, you know what's the national average of actual profit margins? 8%. He goes, they do 20 to 30%. Then they take a job in between that makes no money because they need to keep their guys busy. Then they have another job for 20 to 30%.
All that profit just got put into keeping their guys.
Exactly. So now they're at 16. Now they're at 8. You know, boom, boom. It keeps cutting down. He goes, these guys, and then he goes, you take it even further. Lawn care, masons, all that stuff is their profit margins are 2-3%, bro. And there's people living like that. He goes, I tell companies to close shop anything below 6. 6 up, you're making pretty good. Plus, we have people in our network, people like just like a diamond. You can talk to guys like these. We have already working with us, bro, where you can talk to them.
Where are you located?
He's in Danbury, Connecticut, 15 minutes from us. If you come August 3rd, you're going to meet him in person.
Yeah, see the material. See if there's a way we can just ship the shit directly.
Bro, he's going to be here in person. If you come to my house August 3rd on the Saturday for the barbecue, you're going to meet him in person.
See, that's what I love about this shit.
And that's one of the headaches you have. Material
but I mean,
sourcing.
That's the good thing. Like, that's the thing. That's what's so important about what we're doing right now. We're having a conversation, but we're networking with other fucking people.
Yeah.
I would have never fucking known about this guy unless I just had a conversation with you.
Yeah, his shop's 20 minutes by my house.
Right.
Worst case scenario, bro. You're like, bro, they couldn't make the delivery. I'll drive it down. And you know I would, bro. I do it just show. I'll do it just to go down, bro.
Yeah, we'll go grab a beer.
Yeah, bro. Come on, man. So material out the way now. You find out your market price, you get that out the way. 8%. 8% according to national average, what the accountant said. He goes, anybody making less than 8%, he goes, I already tell him, hey, you're paying yourself to keep a headache going on. You don't have a business. You're paying yourself to be stressed. He goes, it doesn't make sense after that. But that 8% would go to your pricing. So whatever your price is, that profit margin, just cut it down to 8%. And then now you know you're bankrolling. Because just as much as these guys charge 20 to 30%, and then they don't have a job or they don't land a job and they take a job just to keep the guys on payroll and they do 0. So now their 20 to 30% actually becomes 8. If you hit 8 and you have for sure productivity, guaranteed
8 all the time.
Now that is jumping up to 20 to 30% because you have you're getting the paycheck, bro. It's constant payroll. For example, my contract with the solar company, my profit margin is 12%, but it's 12% guaranteed. You know, it's not service call where it's hit and miss here and there. I only got 1 call this week, no calls next week, 4 calls. I don't have I got 12 across, and I will challenge anyone. I'm pretty sure I'm doing better than a lot of other individuals who are in electrical, even bigger names that we know. And that's the modest approach because I have consistency.
Right,
you know,
you just have it's steady coming in. You have enough work for 2 crews that you don't ever have to worry about.
And on top of that,
constantly coming in.
The next question, what I like is when you process and you talk to people, not only do you say how much money are you bringing in, you ask what's people's margins. And then on top of that is how do you treat your guys? You know how I treat my guys. I do with the profit sharing. Also, my guys, this is another genre where we can go, what type of quality people are you hiring? Are you just getting low tier or are you getting high tier? My guys are making 40, 50 an hour. And you already know that. My licensed guys are making 40, 50 an hour. And then on top of that, I have the profit sharing. So my margins is 12% while still giving them everything.
Yeah.
So if
guys that are loyal as fuck and
think about it, if I wasn't taking care of my guys and they see that every month I'm gone for 2 weeks, what are they going to say? Screw this guy. He's making us break our back. And then he's over here having fun, traveling the US, doing this. The only way I have that dynamic with my team is because they are taking care of more than they can. I trust them and I give them opportunities to lead. You know what I mean?
Yeah. If
I was paying my guys under the table, dirt cheap, with no respect, and then I'm over here living my type of life, they're going to be like, this isn't just justifying it. Screw you.
Yeah, fuck this guy.
Yeah.
Somewhere else.
I'm paying my guys 40, 50. I have licensed guys. I have Americans who are going to open up their own shop, and I want them to win. So they're doing this. They're getting profit sharing, which is something I would want when we started talking about. I said things that you want to develop. How are you going to sell this to your guy? You got to sell what you said, their fails, their mistakes, their fuck ups, your systems that you're going to have in place to operate this thing so it's producing rather than hang-ups. And then what's the last thing? You want to follow up with them. You want to have contract, all those follow-ups, all those things in contract so you can now put them at ease because you're going to sell 14.5 or whatever the 8% number is for you. Let's say that drops it down to 10, for example, 12.5. You now want to sell and have that contract on, hey, you're paying me so you don't have the headache. You're paying for a solution. You're not paying just to get this done and then have to come back and then fix it, delays, all this stuff. You know what I mean? You're paying for the solution.
And I think that's what the guy's always been looking for is a solution.
Exactly.
I just have to sell myself as the solution.
But with systems following through, we already prospected and we already have a distributor who's going to give us the bulk pricing. It's going to be here. All we need from you is to sign on the dollar line, tell us the time schedule, and boom, it's all in action. And then just like any other project, you take the 20% up front for the material cost and the deposit. Now at least you got all your material covered, brother. Now you got your material covered. Even if they do tank, even if they do back out, you're not stuck with the bill on that. Then you have your material covered. You have everything showing up on time. Diamond's over here going to work with you to make sure everything's there on time. You got the great pricing. Now all about what you have to do is systems in place, as in checklist. Hey guys, it's going to take 3 days per rough, 3 days to finish, 1 first inspections. Cool. Estimated one job is a week. You got 52 jobs. You're looking at 2 years and change. Boom, 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 boom. Here's our schedule. Here's our pipeline. Here's our production. You now get that packet. Now you have all your numbers. You have all your analytics. You sell it to the guy. Hey, this is what you get with someone else. Boom, 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 boom. We all been there where, due to delays, due to incompetency, due to poor install, we have to come back and fix. With us, you're getting a system. Remember what I told you? Did I tell you how I got my second contract when I went to dinner with these guys?
No.
Story time. So, and what I love about what I'm doing now in the sense where when I have a meeting with the people I have and they just renewed my contract for 5 years and I just got a contract, brother, to now expand to 30 different states.
Good.
So whatever I'm making per year, times that by 30 now.
That's good. You're going to be nationwide shortly.
I can't wait, baby. I can't wait. Like I told you, I can't wait for that building, baby. I keep going in. They don't know. That's going to be my building, dude. I'm like,
that's what we talked about.
So when you go into the, so when I went into the contract renewal, I went in and I was in a room full of me, myself, and 2 other individuals, 2 other contractors who are now bidding for that project, right? I'm over here and I'm the last one to go because I'm in the interview process because I'm also a license holder. So I'm scoping the guys as well as them trying to sell it. And I'm like, I'll be biased. I'm like, I won't be biased. Let's hear them out. You know what I mean? So they're over here saying, oh, we're the new guy. We'll undermarket by 10%. We'll do this. We'll do that. We'll do this. Cool. Next guy. We'll do this. We'll do that. We'll do this. We finish the second guy's interview and it's around 3:00. And then I go, then they say, so Will, what are you thinking? I was like, I think it's time for dinner for us. We go out to dinner. We go to a nice steakhouse. We start eating. We don't talk nothing about shop. Nothing. Last 15 minutes of dinner, we get to the position where now it's like, all right, guys, what I appreciate about the last 2 years working with you. What I appreciate about the last 2 years working with you is this is what we accomplished. This was our deadline. We finished in this month. When an issue came up, this is how we tackled it. And we had 3 major mistakes this year. We had 3 of them. And I wanted to talk about it with you. Our first mistake was this. Homeowner upset, bad BBB review. How did we resolve it? We talked to her. We followed up with her. We made the correction. She removed the BBB review. We're happy. Second homeowner messed up the siding of a project because we kept relocating the material. Paid for not only the side of the house. It was a small house. It was like a 10 by 10 home. I had one of my buddies rewrap the entire house, reside the entire house. I ate that bill. Rewrapped it. She freaking loved us. Gave us an A+ review, 5 stars out of 5 stars. Recommended us to her neighbor, and then her whole neighbor decided to go solar, signed up and everything. Third one, same issue, bad mistake. Service went down. We did a service. Not only did we replace the service, we did a service upgrade, and we placed her painting job or something around the house because they made too many holes. Basically, 3 issues that we had. Didn't hide from it. Didn't use that as excuses. Used that as an opportunity to learn. We gave back more value. We went above and beyond. She gave us another 5-star review. Moral of the story. When crap hits the fan, we already have a track record of we will fix it.
Yeah.
We're not looking. Yeah, we're not looking to undercut. I'm not looking to come 10% below. I'm going to keep my price at where it is, and I'm also going to raise it another 10% for the inflation. So with that other 10%, I just want you to know, I guarantee you, even when shit hits the fan, I'm going to be here to take accountability on XYZ, just like we already proved with you guys. They're eating, and they said, just give Will a contract. What I also love about these opportunities now is I have my guys, my number 2 guys in these meetings with me, but I'm telling them, don't talk. Just learn.
Just listen, learn.
Those are those. And once again,
I take my guys on job walkthroughs all the time.
And that's the best thing.
They're like, "Are you sure you don't want me to sit in the truck?" I'm like, "For what? Come in here and learn."
Never lose a lunch. Never lose an opportunity to train. But then they see, okay, this is how he handles himself. This is how he sells value. This is how he portrays the entire team. Because that's the opportunity you get to shine light on your team for helping you through those things.
That's what I told them before. Like we did a custom house down by the shore, and I told them going into it, I said, I sold all you motherfuckers. Mm-hmm. Now it's time for us to we got to execute.
Now it's deliberate. Yep.
Now we got to deliver everything that I promised these guys and told them that we're going to do, and all these problems aren't going to be here. We got to execute this. Yep. And they executed it so far on this project, and now they're coming to me going, hey, we want you to bid on another custom with us.
And that's what I love about it.
I kind of played the game a little bit. Yeah. I kind of approached their competitor, and I went after them and bid on some projects with them. And I landed a project with their competitor. And then I was just having conversations with the guy, the project manager, and I was like, yeah, so when are we going to get another opportunity to bid on another project? And I was like, yeah, I just landed a project with this company. I don't know if you guys ever heard of them. Yeah. And his face changed because he knew right away
the competitor
that provides value, and now he's going to go work with our competitor. We're going to lose this guy. So then next thing you know, now I'm getting all these emails for fucking bid invites, which is great. You know what I mean? But I feel like sometimes you definitely have to finesse people and kind of play the game a little bit and sell, show your worth.
Yep. I love that. And that's why you got to keep selling. Now you got to sweeten the deal for your first one. Because remember, if they're going to look at longevity, they're going to look at longevity. Do I say get your foot in the door? Yes. Do I say never go below operating costs? You're already going to, no, I'm going to say never go below operating costs. Look at the longevity, develop a system, make this as cookie cutter as you can. There's guys on the West Coast, you know how they do it. It's the same thing. They have new builds because it's cookie cutter. Are you going to have issues the first 10%? I always plan for 10% contingency. Yeah. Of course. 114 houses, the first 14 you're going to fuck up. The guys are going to look for the rhythm.
Or it might not even be you. It might be the other subs.
Exactly. Oh, yeah. 14 houses. After 14, you're going to look at issues. The quicker you study, the quicker you learn, the quicker you fail. Fail fast. Recover, repeat, and then repivot. Bro, you're going to do amazing. So just keep all that stuff in mind. All those numbers are in where's my book? Connecticut, we have to take business and law and project management for a second test. I think, do you guys too?
Yeah.
That book talks about contingency, 6 to 12%. Profitability, blah, blah, blah. It tells you all those numbers because that's history. Plan for 10% of your job to go bad. Put all those into a number. Once you can learn those issues the quickest way possible, then you're going to be doing fine, bro. And everything is productivity at that time. Now, without getting too much into detail, right now, are you comfortable with saying how much you make revenue per year?
Yeah.
Revenue.
$1 million.
Okay. So, but how many contractors are you pleasing right now or working with?
Steady, constant repeat business, about 5 or 6.
5 or 6, and then in between
it's service based.
So service based. So you're looking for jobs, estimating, running all around.
I do everything. If you want to pay the price, then I'll come do the job.
So all of that, and then how far booked ahead are you?
About 3 months right now, consistently on the schedule that I know of. Okay, this is what I can't hire things in this. As far as homeowners, if they're hiring me directly, I tell them we're 4 months out. If you want to go with us, you can. But basically, if I have an opening and there's a delay on a job, I'll basically contact you and see if you want to fit it. I basically put them. I have a list.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I'll go down that list, calling people to see. Okay, do you want to? Is this day going to work for you? We have an opening on this day, and then I'll fill that gap with a service call or something like that. You know what I mean?
Yeah. What I love about that is to get your 1 mil rev, you're doing this, all of this. You're going to get that 1.1 and 1.5 with one person.
Yeah. And that's why
that's something to definitely take into consideration.
And it's like something where like I don't really need to like focus on it that much because they're not complex projects. It's the same fucking thing over and over again. It's code minimum. Like it's so basic. Whereas like some of the other stuff I'm doing, it's a little bit more complex. Like Tuesday, we got to start doing fire alarm on a project. For me, that's something where now I have to get involved because.
And you got to switch gears.
What's that?
You got to switch gears.
Right, I got to switch gears because like my guys aren't comfortable with fire alarm yet. So now I'm doing the job and kind of teaching at the same time. Well, this is how we do it. This is how this works. Like, so yeah, it's for me where I'm hitting this revenue. It could be a little exhausting at times because I'm constantly having to change gears and pivot and do things differently.
And you always lose time, just like the NEC. What makes you lose the most amount of time? Searching for the answer through the index and going right back. Switching gears is motor controls. What's the most expensive, or what's the most consumption? Startup.
Right.
To get up to there, that's the most efficient. What's the number one time killer? Guys on a job site have to stop, pivot to go to the supply store. Changing of guards. The politics. When's the worst time for politics? The changing of hands, because one guy passing off to the other, shit happens in between. By the time he catches up, it's 6 months past already. Changing of gears, changing of hands, changing of opportunity, of moments are the most expensive and the most the weakest point in anybody. Now you have an opportunity where you don't have that. You have an opportunity where you have constant workflow for a year to two.
Yeah, and like I said, it's one of those things of like, if it does go smooth, I don't even have to go there. I don't have to be there. I don't really have to focus on it. I probably would create like a material template list. So that way it's just like the same material list over and over again, just being ordered. So that way I'm not sending guys to the supply house to go get shit. It's just like, pull this material list for the rough, pull this material list for the fucking final, and boom, done. Like, you don't even have to worry about it. But like I said, you have to have systems in place and be efficient with it.
So we, for the most part, went over opportunity-wise what this whole thing is looking at, because it's a new jump for you. It's out of your niche. It's looking something
totally out of my niche.
But it's what we learned right now. I think it's safe to say that just speaking about it, you already have more confidence and say, "Hey, let's tackle it." Now the question is, let's develop the systems in place that you need for that to happen. That we can work on tomorrow night if you want to do that.
Work.
But this is a big step in itself. Just to be able to look at something and then go from how am I going to do this, but to going to now saying, now I want to tackle it. How do I go about tackling it? That's a different conversation now. That's awesome now. You know what I mean?
Like the main thing is like for me, it's like the cash flow. Like that's also the other thing I'm thinking about. Like, you know what I mean? Like, okay, this is a large volume project. You know what I mean? Where it's like, okay, well, I could be tying up 50 grand or 60 grand just with this project while I'm still trying to like target everything else that I'm doing and keep that stuff going. Like, I'm not trying to pivot and go, okay, I want to do developments consistently. I'm like just looking at it like this is just another revenue stream.
I love it.
So now I'm like I said, I'm kind of like thinking about like just the cash flow stuff. Like, am I going to have to get another line of credit? Like, you know what I mean? To be able to use for, you know, payroll or things like that to keep things going.
And that all comes into the
moving parts and pieces that you have to kind of think about before you basically have to plan before you even start.
Correct. That comes down into the contract. The terms of engagement. That comes down to disbursement fees. That comes down to
absolutely. I'm not fucking starting the job without some kind of fucking payment.
Exactly.
To get us going. I'm not fronting everything then waiting because I know how that game is. You know what I mean? Like, oh yeah, I'll pay you in 30 days, and it's like, oh well, I'll pay you in 30 days when I get paid. Like, you know what I mean? No, that could drag on to like 4 months.
Yep.
I'm not trying to deal with that.
I agree. You're on it, bro. How about this? Let's now help somebody else because Nick. Got his first job to bid on, an ADU. You want to break it down with him? He's looking at pricing. He doesn't know his how how to come up with his own price now.
Yeah.
Nick,
send me his email, Nick. I didn't forget about you. I'm gonna send you over that thing where you can calculate. Yeah, I mean, what like your cost is per hourly. Yeah, I mean,
he's jumping on now. He wants to go over. Man, I appreciate you, bro. But no, I'm excited for you.
What's going on?
My man.
Guy in Cali right here with a 609 area code. I love it.
I know. When he first called me that first time, I was like, Jersey. I was like, what the hell? Remember? I was like, who the heck is this guy?
It's a small world, too. Like, I know his family out here.
Dude, you can't make that stuff up. So talk to us, Nick. Give us the lowdown. What's the opportunity you have? What's the problem we're solving for?
So just I guess it was like Thursday or Friday, someone reached out, sent me an email, or they sent me a text first, and then they emailed me these plans. It's a garage. It's a 2-car garage that they're converting into an ADU. So it's 480 square foot, single bedroom, single bath, full kitchen, island, living room, sub panel, water heater, air conditioner.
And is it the same thing as? Oh no, we got electrical plan here. Hold up, I'm gonna print it out for us. Okay.
Let me turn my camera and I'll show it. Pretty basic.
Yeah.
I know this. You got to do the underground too. Well, the underground. So our main panel is here, and our sub panel would be here. So he said this is about 30 feet. So we got cans. We got 17 cans, 2 sconces, 1 exterior, 1 inside. Switch locations. I'm thinking 2 caseta setups because this bedroom has a pocket door. 2 caseta setups, the 3-way, the living room and the kitchen. 2 exhaust fans, about 10 basic receptacles, like full kitchen countertops. So first thing, what are you supplying? Probably all of it. Like, are you supplying the exhaust fan? Are you supplying
material or just labor?
Yeah, I would assume that I'm going to be supplying all that stuff. The cans, everything during rough. Right.
So you're doing full project, head to toe scope, material and labor. So then we're going to break that down 2 things. 2,
what's your counts? Did you take a count yet? Of what? Of all your items. Yeah, so I've got so I wrote down basically what I've got for cans, switching, exhaust fans, kitchen circuits. Can you read them numbers off to me? Yeah, I've got cans. I've got 17. Mm-hmm. Sconces or wall fixtures for 1 vanity bathroom, 1 for the exterior. 7 switches. We've got 10 basic receptacle outlets. I got 2 exhaust fans. I got a smoke alarm circuit, so 2 smoke carbon combo, and then a smoky in the bedroom. Okay. How many kitchen circuits? So I'm thinking app 1 and 2. So app 1 and 2, micro, garbage disposal, dishwasher, and fridge. So I'm thinking 6 circuits for the kitchen.
What about range?
Yeah, so the range I have.
That's the big.
I have that down next with the air conditioner. So air conditioner, range. Look like the only 240 volt stuff that's going to be in there. And then you're going to have a hood, or is the microwave going to be your hood? It doesn't say, but I would probably assume that if it looks like it's an electric range, I don't have that much info on it. So then you definitely want to have that information in your pricing, so that way you kind of be transparent. You know what I mean? And like when you put together your contract, you want to specify like what you are including and what you're not including.
Yeah.
Okay.
And did you also look at the notes? They're asking for dedicated circuits also to have use for future. Like they want
they've got
dryer plug and stuff like that for future, and then they want solar ready.
We've got order here requirements. They want at least a 20 amp dedicated circuit.
So they want a 20 amp circuit, you see, but with a 10 gauge wire.
Oh, look at that. Yeah, good call. So it can be featured for a 30. And then below for all, so like, yeah, a lot of this stuff has got to be all electric ready. So the cooktop, that one doesn't really have the wire size. Oh, the conductor should be ready for at least 50 minimum amps here. So 6.3 for the oven. And then feature electric cooktop, electric clothes dryer, another 240 volt at 30 amps, so 10.3 over there. For future 240 volt use.
Yeah, they have like 6 for future use also.
I'm gonna go run and grab my laptop real quick. And this job is just about an hour, depending on time of day. Could be more.
Yeah, because this is, bro, you can probably bang that out in 2 days, to be honest. 2 calm days. You can do it in 1 if you wanted to, sure enough.
Yeah, since this guy's saying since this is an ADU, I don't know if they're going to make me have a future EV conduit since
it's not on the notes.
That's the thing where you just gotta ask the question, and then when you go to him with your proposal, you have what's included and not included, so he can look at it and be like, okay, what about an EV conduit, or what about this, or what about that? Or you come to him and you present all this stuff as alternate line items that he can make his selections on. Oh, okay. Yeah, that's a good idea. Is the job in a nice area? It's not too bad. Are you thinking about the stuff getting stolen, the wire? No, I'm thinking about your market. It's in Riverside, so the neighborhood looks nice. Sorry, I'm trying to pull up my calculator.
Let's look in the trash room.
So for me, I'd probably be $2,900 just for cans. And these are basically just basic builder's grade cans, to start out with. Yeah. And if you want to upgrade to something nicer, you know what I mean? I'll go over the counts again. The counts were 17 cans, two sconces, a vanity in the bathroom, sconce at the door exterior, 7 switches. We got 10 basic receptacles, hot water heater, air conditioner, 3 exterior plugs, 2 exhaust fans, smoke alarm setup, smoke carbon combo, and 1 smoke alarm. Washer dryer.
It needs to be used for at least 30 amp. Garbage total dishwasher, microwave, app 1 and 2, fridge. I think I already said water heater. Another thing that's on there is the island. There's an island outlet, and
Would have a pop-up.
yeah. So, in the island, since it's a garage already, it's going to need to be trenched across, or the floor is going to need to be cut. And
I would exclude that in your contract.
the concrete cutting.
Yeah, just make the GC do it, or if you want to do it, price
No.
for it high.
Yeah.
Sorry, I'm just adding everything.
Sometimes when we do our when we do the exhaust fans, we mount the fans, and then they do the duct work out of the house usually.
And then the HVAC crews do it. That's what some people are saying right now from California.
Yeah, that's what our HVAC guy does, Boucher. We just mount the fan. They tape their duct to it, and they make the hole in the roof. We don't. That's all we do is just mount the fan. And then sub panel, 125 amp sub panel. I'm assuming. And the feeder's 30 feet to the house. Air conditioner, probably going to be, probably going to be at least a 40 amp maybe.
All right, so for me, just for like the rough end and like the trim out, I'm basically, and this doesn't include the panel, I'm like a little over $8,000, almost 9,000. Yeah, I mean, and then you're gonna have the sub panel. So I'd probably, for me, just looking at the plans real quick, just calculating, I'd probably be at least 11,000, maybe 12,000 for that little ADU.
With the sub?
Yeah. But I'm not trenching anything. I'm not doing any saw cutting. Yeah, I mean, if you want to have the trench dug, I'll go in and fill the pipe in. Yeah, I mean.
How much are you doing just for labor?
What's that? I don't know. I'm basically going off of unit prices. Yeah, I mean, like.
You're doing unit. I'm doing square footage and labor.
You're just starting out, like, so you don't have like any unit prices yet.
Exactly.
Yeah, I mean, so like for you for bidding, you're going in and you're like guessing. You know what I mean? You're going in and going, okay, well, I think it's this much material. And then you're like looking at it and going, okay, well, I think this is how long it's going to take me.
Yep.
And then you're putting together a labor amount and combining it all together. And you're going to fuck up. Yeah. But then you have to go back and you have to track those numbers and see, okay, well, I bid the job for this. And this is, how long it actually took me to do the job. You know what I mean? I thought it was going to take me 5 days, but it took me 6 days. Yeah. And basically, you got to learn from that. You know what I mean? And then essentially, like over time, you could create unit prices for tasks. Like I know for me, for a dishwasher circuit, I'm $365 for every dishwasher you want me to put in your house. You know what I mean? If you want me to put a fridge in, it's another $365. You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
And that's because I have a unit price together with, 85 feet of wire. You know what I mean? The arc fault breaker, the box, all that stuff. You know what I mean?
Sure, for sure.
Yeah.
And it's also dependent on your market. Like California is a lot different.
Big time different.
Compared to where I'm at. Like, you know what I mean? Like, you guys are wiring stuff like houses all day for a lot higher than other parts of the country. Correct. You know what I mean?
Yep. Yeah, so I'll probably, honestly, I could bang that out pretty quick. I could probably do that.
My numbers came closest to Anthony's. He did for labor for 5-6 days, daily rate 12. I did 4 days for $13.50, knowing you.
Yeah, I was just going to say 3.5 days.
Yeah, I was going to say 4. Knowing and remember, this is his first contract. He's going to be there. You're going to sleep, breathe that first project, baby. You're going to make sure that project's perfect, right? Sure enough, Peter. He's gonna be there all day. Yeah. If you equated a value to time, you're going to charge him $1 million because you're going to make that thing your baby. It's your first job. You're going to be there the first one. You're going to get there before the homeowner. You're going to open up for him. He's going to be like, wow, this guy's all on it. You know what I mean? But this one's going to be a good one. For labor only, I did the $450 by $12 just for labor.
Say it again.
I did 450 square feet at a $12 just for labor though. So that came out to like close to $5,000 just for labor. But material, that's a whole nother one, two. What are you saying? People are saying I'll do 9K. They'll do 1,200 a day, 1,400, 9 to 11K all in. So how much was material going to be out? That means I'm low. And once again, that's East Coast.
I think, like I said, you just kind of have to go into it knowing it's going to be a learning experience.
Yeah. Yep.
Like, yeah, I mean, and then take that data and go back to it and study it.
Correct. It's the, what's that called? The metrics. You're learning your metrics.
Yeah.
Yeah. You're going to learn your metrics, and then also you're going to learn your own value, because remember, now this is also Anthony's number based off of his markup, right?
Yeah.
Remember, if Anthony and you were supposed to bid and both of you came in with the same number, the homeowners now has the right to choose who they want to work with. Who are they going to go with? You that have the same price as Anthony and it's your first job, or Anthony who has a track record now of doing the same jobs, has the material to complete it in 5 days. Just like what we talked about, Peter, with yours. What's your selling point? Hey, with us, you're going to get the systems. With us, you're not going to have the issues. With us, we're going to follow it. Even if there's an issue, we're going to fix it. You're selling it on, hey, man, this is my first job. I'm going to give it my blood, sweat, and tears. That may come with issues. You know what I mean? So that's where your competitive edge should kick in as well.
You know, the audio keeps getting like real like scratchy.
That's Nick's. That's that, you know.
What you got, T-Mobile?
I'm on my Wi-Fi. I got 8. Over here.
And that's the thing, like, so, like, Nick, like, what are you charging, like, hourly for yourself?
I've been charging, like, $125 to show up, and then it depends. I've been changing it. Other than that, like,
figure out what you need to charge and stick to it.
I've been chasing those Home Depot leads, so I've just been trying to get them to agree. You know, so well, they're kind of far, the ones I've been getting, but yeah, I've been charging $125 to show up, and then $80 an hour additionally after that.
And we set him up with the Home Depot Pro referral in 2 days. You want to tell them how much you made already, bro?
Yeah. So in 2 days, I did 3 jobs. I was just over $1,600, and that was like the 8 hours total.
Now, what does Home Depot take out of that?
0.
Nothing.
Really?
Yeah. So they just post the job leads, and then I have to just, when I buy my material at Depot, I put in my rewards number, and like every time you buy from Depot, you get more points.
Yeah, the pro account.
Yeah, but the points gives you the leads.
Points.
So they reward you just for being a customer. They don't charge you at all.
And it's like, I'm surprised that, I don't know, there's just a lot come in. And they're just out, they're kind of far, like I was saying, 45 minutes-ish, but I just got on it. So sure as more as I get them, I kind of messed up because at first I was just like, I didn't realize there was a point thing. So I thought it was just like, you know, you can take them all. Yeah. And so now initially they give you 1,000 points, and I was taking every single lead and just hitting up every single person. And,
but even if you don't get the job, Peter, sorry to cut you off, Nick. Even if you don't get the job, you got their name, address, contact information. So now you can still add them to your mailing list.
Right. And then you can basically send them offers in the mail, like, oh, we're on a special.
Yep. So for 40 points, regardless, at least you might not get them on this one. You get them on the next one if you follow up. Because remember, they're calling Home Depot And what I appreciate about this is, and that's the program that we use to get. That's what got me through my first year of business, bro. Because that program, what I appreciate about it is it's not window shopping. Let's say you're a homeowner, you go to Home Depot, you buy a light. They say, do you need it installed? And they say yes. So they only take their number and they only take their contact information if they purchase the light. It's not window shopping. It's a hot lead.
Right.
So that's why. So this dude, have you called anybody and they said they're still at the store yet or no?
I called this guy yesterday. So yesterday my day kind of was like iffy because when I text the guy in the morning to make sure he was still good for the afternoon, and he didn't text me back for like 3 hours, right? So after 30 minutes, I was like, this fucking guy's bailing on me. So I got it back on the app, and then I was just scrolling around. One came in, right, as I was on the app. Immediately, I was looking at it. I was like, you know what? This guy's in Menifee. He's like 20 minutes from here. I'm just going to call him right now and see what he wants. It's his fireplace installation. I was like, all right, fuck it. Let me just call him. I go there. He's going over all this stuff. He wants this fireplace demoed out, electric fireplace put in. And then I was like, all right, well, let me try to put something together for you and give you the best price I can. Let me talk to one of my buddies that does framing, whatever. And he was like, if you're not busy today, I have a ceiling fan, 2 exterior lights, and then later on this week coming up, he's got another ceiling fan, hallway lights, an entry light. So Saturday, real quick, I threw up a ceiling fan, 2 exterior lights while I was at his house. Just randomly, cold call, went there to give him a free estimate, and then just banged out some work, a couple dollars real quick, and then had enough time to go to my next one that ended up texting me while I was at his house. They were like, oh, sorry, blah, blah, blah. We didn't see your text. Are you still coming? So yesterday worked out great.
And what's awesome about it, remember, they're calling you because they don't already have a go-to electrician. Now you have to foster that relationship. That's where the emailing comes in. That's where the follow-ups come in. That's where now you as a content creator, your page comes in. Look, stay engaged with the people. They're going to call you like that anytime that project comes up now. Bro.
It's getting busy.
Bro. First 2 days, he goes, dude, 2 days of side work, and he made his whole week schedule already, his weekly.
Oh, yeah. Just yesterday, I made more than what I made at my 40 an hour. So.
And it was just an 8-hour day, 2 hours of it driving.
I could have swore that I set it up and they were going to approve me. They had to do something. They were going to go through this approval method or approval process, and they were going to get back to me. So I have to double check and see.
You can go like local services. Sometimes like that works pretty good too. As far as like getting leads, you do have to pay. It's going to cost you a little bit of money. I don't know if you have like a budget set aside for like advertising, if that's what you're trying to do. But it has worked for me in the past where there was like lapses. I could turn it on, and then people would call, and they kind of versus like regular like Google or like Angie's Leads, they for the most part were kind of committed. Like, it seemed like they wanted to. They weren't just like cold calling, and it wasn't like where Angie's Leads. I don't know if it changed. Where Angie's Leads, it used to be that you shared a lead with like 3 other contractors. Like with Google, it's just like the person's just calling you. Like you're not competing with somebody else. Like, so if you could sell it on the phone, like it's going to cost you like $20.
Where'd you go?
His phone might have died or something.
Yeah. Let's see. Let's reset his stuff. But yeah, bro. No, just keep it up. How you doing, little man? Good to see you again.
Yeah, so I like that. I like that price at like 11,000, and then since I'm doing it by myself, I might be able to come in a little lower. Does that make sense?
Yep, it's your first one. You want to sell relationships.
So if I can come in at like I don't want to undercut it and then feel stupid. But no, but thinking I'm thinking like what did you say you had material?
No, I just did labor.
Oh,
labor. Yeah, 4,500.
You know, I was literally just thinking like 9,750.
9,700. Oh yeah, yeah. For what I had for you, just labor is 5,400.
It's like, and here's how I look at it too. I have so much that was donated to me.
What number did you just said? 9,750.
9,750.
Look at Rewire. What he said.
No, that's what I was just thinking. Then he said 9,800.
Yeah, he said go, dude. Yeah, that's a good number because it's competitive.
But I also, all right. So, is there some kind of specific form that you send all this in to?
Yeah, that we can work on that on the next one too, because you can do it. There's many apps out there. You can do it. QuickBooks also, all those different stuff. There's a whole bunch too. That you can
so
use.
I just broke out the laptop. I mean I bought my wife this iPad for Christmas so she could. I got her the iPad and an Apple Pencil so she could do do more art stuff.
9,800, baby, get it done.
And that's 4 days in and out, bro.
Yeah, that's what I'm trying to say. You could even do it like 87 if you were being really like this is your first go around here. That's a beautiful job. I was wiring a whole house for $4,000 in the city when I was coming up.
Yeah,
So,
bro.
you know what I mean? Like I'm telling Galligan earlier about his thing. Like, I don't know, 13's low, but then I watched this whole thing and I'm like, profit margin is 8%. You know, it's like, so just like you're in the beginning, it's like on your end, it's like $9,800. You're only spending a couple grand in material.
Yeah. And then with Galligan,
I mean, you're putting in what 17 cans it was.
Yeah, no, the rough-in boxing and cans, I can do that in a day, 100%. And then,
bro, you can bang that out in a 12-hour day, especially, bro. You chilling out there? That I'm telling you, that thing's gonna be a baby. You're gonna be out there. You're gonna have some fun.
When it's especially when I'm like, oh, this is mine. I'm gonna be hammering.
Bro, you're gonna be out there chilling. You're gonna. That's gonna be the best job you ever did.
You could get, like I said, you're using Home Depot. I think you said.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah. Do that for now, but you gotta get in with a supply house.
Yep.
You got to.
No, for sure. Yeah, for this job, I'll probably have to link something that's local to that area. That way, I can call and have it. We'll find out if I can have material safely delivered there, or if I can just make it.
No, you can schedule delivery. You can schedule deliveries anywhere, bro. It's for $75. They'll deliver it.
Oh yeah.
Say it again.
$75 they deliver. If you spend more than 1,000, they'll do it for free.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, no, do it because remember, right now you need the points, right, to keep the leads going. That's how. Remember, they don't charge you for leads; they charge you to just shop at them. Remember? Trust me, if a wholesale house started doing that, they would make a killing. Imagine that. Go to this wholesaler, and for every every dollar you spend, you get a point, and it will give you leads. That's something to market. That's marketing, baby.
Oh yeah.
Bro, but no, I'm proud of you, bro.
You use Joist?
I use Joist, but I want to get away from it, like just to use something a little bit better. But it does link to PayPal, which I don't like to get whacked on fees, but you can't get paid right away. But you know, it's cheap. It's like I like the updated one, and you can. What I like is if they look at the estimate, you get notified every time they open it up.
Which quick?
So if say you're on the fence with somebody bidding a job, and you're like, man, and then he tells you like, oh, I haven't looked at it yet, and you're like. You looked at it 3 times at 2:00 in the morning. You know what I mean? So it's cool that you can sign on it. You can sign a contract, write notes, cover processing fee. You can put a discount on there. You know, I put your letterhead or at the top. You know, your logo.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it's legit. It looks nice. You know what I mean? So it's not expensive. But like if you had a bunch of guys, then you know you look maybe like I'm just seeing. What's his name was using like Jobber and shit like that, but I never used that.
No.
So I've been using Joist since the beginning. You know what I mean? It's been like, that's what I use. I don't know. What do you use? Well, you use software, right?
Yeah, we have a CRM, but then we also have QuickBooks.
Yeah, that Joyce links with QuickBooks too.
Oh, okay,
well.
nice.
Mm-hmm. So, you know, but yeah, Joyce is good. I mean, I think I would go in like that. And if you know you can get it too, you don't want to go, you know, too high. And then the guy's like, no.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
No,
but I feel like I've been doing that a lot, like kind of like going a little bit higher. I haven't gotten some work, but that's all right.
I'm just going to buy it because I have some Apple Cash.
What is this? Jobber. No, you go to Joyce.
Which QuickBooks is it?
No, QuickBooks is QuickBooks Online.
What QuickBooks? Yeah, maybe get back, bud.
Which one?
My kid's a terrorist.
Social event.
She's still up. 10:30. You know what I mean? She's not even 3. It's like, go to bed.
There's like 10 different QuickBooks apps on here.
Yeah.
Yeah. Go to Joyce. JOIST. Yeah, for contractors.
Mm.
Yeah, it's nice. I'm telling you, cheap. Cheap, and there's a couple levels of it. You can get the pro, the basic, but get the one that's the high one. You can do everything on there. And if, like I said, if you take card payment, well, you guys take heavy card payment, right?
Yeah.
Well,
Yeah. Dude, no, I don't even do card payments right now. Dude, I get transfers. I get wires. I'd be like, yo, send me that wire next week, my man. I need something. I'm talking about, I'm doing wire transfer where freaking bank fraud be calling me. Yo, just making sure you're requesting this $85K. And I'm like, yeah, send it. Yeah, send it. Yeah, it's approved.
Let's go. Yo, you coming in? Who's coming out August 4th?
August 3rd, Saturday?
August 3rd. I don't know what the hell
Your
that
wifey
is.
just said she wants trying to make a weekend out of it now.
Yeah, we're coming there.
All right, so we'll plan something then.
Yeah,
We got Stellman again coming out, and Figs.
Figs is coming.
Figs, Stellman. We're who else?
Gallagher might come out.
Galligan, yeah, Galligan might come out now. Diamond Electric Supply is going to come through.
Oh yeah, how about him trying to hook up Galligan? That's
Yeah.
what's up.
Connecticut Sparky's coming. New York Sparky's coming. Roberto.
Oh, really? That dude's a G. Dude, that guy, I love his work.
Yeah.
That guy, I've been following him for years.
And Roberto, MA Sparky's coming through.
Oh yeah, I don't know if I know that.
He's been low key lately, you know what I mean? But you'll like him. He's a cool dude. He's a cool dude. He's very low key though right now.
I'm sure I'll love him.
But yeah, we got all 5 states again coming through, and then we got like guys like local Edgar coming. He's in Connecticut also. He came to New York with us and to California, bro. That dude's already cool. A little Dominican kid. He's out here.
New York was sick. When are we going to New York again?
Bro, I was just there this weekend.
I know you were just at the Trump Tower. I know. I see what you're doing.
Dude, yeah.
He's over there with Patrick.
Dude, we were in Yankee Stadium. Bro, I was with him yesterday, this week. And dude is wild. Dude's over here. And me and him are walking around. And some guy goes, look at that big shot he think he is. Like a New York dude. He goes, he's only a minority owner of the Yankees. Like, I'm like, yo, how are you talking crap? And you know what I mean? So then Pat's walks over there, shakes the guy's hands, and he goes, thank you anyway for still buying a ticket. You know what I mean? Like, you still paid him basically for showing up, number one.
Yeah.
And then, so as we start walking away, I crack up, and I'm like, Pat, like, how do you put up with that? How do you process stuff like that? Because I feel, because, you know, there's guys who poke at us, and inside I'm like, you son of a bitch, I'm out, blah, 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 blah. I'm like, how do you process that? And then he goes, do you want to know the truth? And I said, yeah. So, like, you know, it's the crowd. Everyone's walking. He pulls me to the side, looks me in the eye. And this dude's tall. He looks me straight in the eye and goes, it's kind of hard to give a fuck when you have $650 million in the bank. And I'm like, yo, dude's a dog, bro.
mil.
650. 50
mil.
650. 650.
650.
650 mil sitting in the bank. He goes, it's kind of hard to care when you got 650 in the bank.
Jesus Christ.
Bro.
Yeah, dude, that's what I mean. Them guys are on another level of business.
But that's what's so funny. It's like the way these guys operate their business, and then there's cats.
Talk more to me about this state, these expansions. We need to hear about this.
What happened?
Let's talk about this expansion you got going on out here. 30-something states.
Oh yeah, I just got a contract to tackle. I gotta go. I'm starting up. So the contract right now, what we have is to do the service work only for utility and the services, right?
Yeah.
So it's in a few bunch of states. So with each state, there's only one state where I need to get my license for. But if I'm doing service work, I don't need my license. But if I get my license, I can now bid for the installs in those states.
Wow.
So right now, whatever
people you're gonna have running this,
bro. I got all I know is if they give the money, I'll pay to figure it out. I'll be up all night working, planning it out. You know what I mean? I'll be hitting up guys on IG. Yo, who's in Colorado? You know what I mean? Take care of them out there. $50 an hour, 60, 70. Huh?
you're gonna be franchising your company all over the world.
Hell yes. Hell yeah. And that's the electrical business. That's not even including the electrical business. The school, what our primary is.
Would you have your business like where someone could buy it and like run it? That's what you're saying?
Yeah.
By franchise?
Hell yeah. Hell yeah.
Wow.
Hell yeah. Yep. And we just got the contract. Literally, the guy who gave me the approved us with the contract said, "Hey, we got to draft up the terms this week."
Wow.
Yeah. 30 states, baby.
30 states. Is it, yo, you coming to PA or what?
PA's already falls under my domain because I do all the East Coast, Northeast.
Yeah, that's fucking sick, bro.
Yeah. Remember, I did that job out by Peter. I did the podcast with Peter, and then I look at my job for the next day, and it's in the freaking it's in the same town. Remember, Nick? I texted you. I was like, "Yo, I have to do a job out here," and you're like, "Yo, that's where I used to hang out." So we already got contracts all out there already. We have New York, upstate, not New York City. We have upstate New York, like Albany, Lake George area. Then we have Connecticut, Massachusetts. They're starting new installs. I just got approved to be the license holder for New Hampshire and Maine. So now that's another $1,500 each state pocket cash just to use my license.
When someone sends you a request for a bid like this, what's like a time frame, that's respectable to get back to them?
Typically, I do turnaround for 1 to 2 days.
Yeah, I always tell them a day, and then if I feel like an idiot if I take longer than a day.
Yeah, because you should know your stuff, and if you don't, you should be hitting them up to keep them like, hey, I didn't forget about you.
Hey, I didn't forget about you.
Yeah.
Just got in.
Yeah.
Sorry. But no, I mean, I try to be transparent with people. Most of the people I work for are the same people. I've had relationships with people for years. So they know me, and they just, or a lot of times, like, that's like service work. I try to get, like, since I got my wife working in the office 3 days a week, like, if she, like, tells someone, like, a job, try to give her, like, almost a price over the phone. Like, I can give a price for a small job. Like, you just send me a couple pictures.
Yeah. Diamond, where are you building the Energize school? So that's the next franchise while we're working. So basically, what's crazy is we're planning on, and we have a team. You met the office guys, Tim, Josh, those are the other guys, the bigwigs, our COO and our VP. They're handling all the school aspect side of things. We're building our franchise model for that. We're going to open up our school by end of the year in California and in Connecticut. So we're going to have 2 school standalones, brick and mortars already. we were planning on franchising the school first, and then wherever we had a school, I was gonna open up an electrical contracting company, just in case leads come in, or let's say there's a student and he's like the golden child. I want to hire him. You know what I mean? So I want to have a school and an electrical business. I thought the key to all of that was the school, where once we start franchising, it starts popping off everywhere. But now this contract came in, and it was like, bro, when you see what I'm pulling yearly, times that by freaking 3, bro. 30.
What's that?
You're
all staticky.
I sent you my hourly. I showed you how much I'm making, right?
Oh yeah.
Times that by 30.
Wow.
Because each one of those locations, it's a different market. So I have my bulk pricing. I said I'll just match it. I'm not going to travel on travel time, because that's a franchise. Because someone's going to be like, hey, I'm local, I'll do it. So it's just like that Peter stuff. What if I lose here? What if I lose there? I said, yo, I'll charge you the same price, and I won't charge you traveling time. You know what I mean? Because at the end of the day, they're going to need a local company who's not going to charge them that. So I'm like, I'll do this for this. So we'll just replicate what I had. And they're like, bet.
I like the 9,800 because I'd probably spend 800 just in gas to and from.
True.
Yeah. Well, travel's a bad. You're not. I mean, that's a deal breaker sometimes.
Yeah.
You know.
But that first year, he's jumping. He's gonna go everywhere.
What's that?
First year, you better be driving everywhere, though.
Oh yeah, I'm still driving sometimes. I've been limiting it though because I've been trying to do service work, small projects that turn into a couple grand. You're making 1,200, 1,800 a day.
Yeah.
You know.
Bro.
That's with 2 guys. So
Man, it's gonna be good.
You got to find Burton Rage. You got to get a hold of Gallagher with that Burton Rage guys with.
Mm-hmm. It's gonna be a good one. But everybody, appreciate you. It's gonna be 11 o'clock tomorrow, Sunday, East Coast. We gotta hammer it out. So
I'll see you later. Yo, Nick, give me a shout if you want to hit me up. All right.
Right on, brother. Appreciate it.
Later.
be safe, guys.
Good night.
Bye.
Yes.
Everybody, hope all is well. Thank you for sticking around. That was our live. Now we're going to close it all out. Appreciate you guys. Bye.